I still remember the day I got my first paycheck in my 20s. I was thrilled. It felt like a reward for all the hard work I had put in through college and internships. For the first time in my life, I felt independent. I could buy my own things. No more asking my parents for money. I walked out of the office that day already planning how I'd spend it. New clothes, a fancy dinner, maybe even a weekend trip with friends. I didn't even think twice. I thought, I'm earning now. I deserve this. But here's what I wish someone had told me back then. Your 20s are not the time to show off. They're the time to build your financial foundation. Every rupee, every dollar you save and invest in your 20s, that's what sets you up for real freedom later. Back then, I didn't realize how powerful time is when it comes to money. If I had saved just 10% of that first salary and invested it, I'd already be way ahead financially. But instead, I spent it all. I lived paycheck to paycheck, thinking the next one would fix everything. Spoiler alert. It didn't. I thought saving was something I could start in my 30s. But starting early, even with just a small amount, makes a massive difference. Why? Because of compound interest. The money you save today grows over time, and then that growth itself grows. It's like planting a tree when you're young. It starts small, but over the years it becomes something powerful. If you're in your 20s and you're watching this, celebrate your first paycheck, yes. You've earned it, but also, pay yourself first. Even if it's just 5%, put it aside, save it, invest it. You don't have to be rich to start saving, but you have to start saving to ever become rich. Looking back, I wish I had known that every time I got paid, I had a choice to spend like everyone else, or to build a future that most people only dream about. Today, I choose the second one. I hope you will too. When I first started earning, my lifestyle was pretty basic. I was happy with simple things, eating at home, using an older phone, saving where I could. But then, something changed. As my salary increased, so did my habits. I started eating out more often, ordering coffee instead of making it, upgrading to the latest phone just because I could. I told myself, I deserve it, I'm working hard, why not enjoy life a little? And yes, we should enjoy life. But here's what no one tells you. This mindset can trap you. It's called lifestyle creep. It's when your spending quietly rises along with your income. You don't notice it right away, but suddenly, you're earning more than ever and still have nothing left at the end of the month. That was me. Every time I got a raise, I used it as permission to spend more. I moved to a bigger apartment. I got into the habit of ordering food almost every day. I bought things I didn't need just because I could afford them. And guess what? I still wasn't saving. I still didn't feel secure. The truth is, if you don't control your lifestyle, it will control you. I wish I had kept my lifestyle the same for a while, even as my income went up. That extra money could have gone into savings or investments. It could have built me a cushion, or even started a small business. Instead, I wasted years trying to impress people who weren't even paying attention. So here's the lesson I learned. Just because you can spend more doesn't mean you should. Increase your savings before you increase your lifestyle. Trust me, your future self will thank you. When I got my first credit card, I felt like I had unlocked a secret superpower. No cash? No problem. Want something now and pay later? Easy. I was swiping that card everywhere. Dinners, clothes, gadgets, even vacations. It didn't feel like spending real money. But then, the bills arrived. I remember looking at my credit card statement, completely shocked. I had no idea how quickly the numbers had added up. And that's the trap. Credit cards don't feel like spending until it's too late. At first, I thought I could pay the minimum amount and everything would be fine. What I didn't realize was that the rest of the balance was growing, with interest and credit card interest. It's brutal. 30%, sometimes even more. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but quickly becomes something you can't stop. I ended up paying thousands in interest over the next year, all because I didn't understand how dangerous credit cards could be when used carelessly. Looking back, I wish someone had told me this simple truth. A credit card is not free money. It's a loan, and it comes with a cost. If you can't afford to pay it off in full each month, you shouldn't be using it. Today, I use credit cards differently. I only swipe when I know I can pay the full amount before the due date. I use them for rewards and points, not for buying things I can't afford. So, if you're in your 20s and thinking about getting a credit card, here's my advice. Be smart. Be disciplined. Don't let debt steal your future. One wrong move with credit can take years to fix. One right habit can build your financial freedom faster than you think. For the longest time, I thought budgeting was boring. I believed it was something only people with financial problems did. So I avoided it. I spent whatever I felt like, as long as I had money in my account. No planning, no tracking, but eventually I realized I was always broke before the month ended. I had no idea where my money was going. That's when I decided to try something different. I sat down one evening, opened a simple budgeting app, and wrote down every expense, rent, food, subscriptions, shopping, everything. And honestly, it was eye-opening. I was spending way more than I thought on little things. Takeout, online shopping, random impulse buys. That night changed everything. I finally understood the power of a budget. It wasn't about restriction. It was about control. For the first time, I felt like I was telling my money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Even just knowing what I spent gave me a sense of peace. So here's the tip. I wish I knew in my 20s. Make a simple monthly budget and stick to it. You don't need fancy tools, just a pen and paper or a free app. It's a small habit that builds massive confidence over time. Because once you control your money, you start controlling your life. For the longest time, I thought budgeting was boring. I believed it was something only people with financial problems did. So I avoided it. I spent whatever I felt like, as long as I had money in my account. No planning, no tracking, but eventually I realized I was always broke before the month ended. I had no idea where my money was going. That's when I decided to try something different. I sat down one evening, opened a simple budgeting app, and wrote down every expense, rent, food, subscriptions, shopping, everything. And honestly, it was eye-opening. I was spending way more than I thought on little things. Takeout, online shopping, random impulse buys. That night changed everything. I finally understood the power of a budget. It wasn't about restriction. It was about control. For the first time, I felt like I was telling my money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Even just knowing what I spent gave me a sense of peace. So here's the tip. I wish I knew in my 20s. Make a simple monthly budget and stick to it. You don't need fancy tools, just a pen and paper or a free app. It's a small habit that builds massive confidence over time, because once you control your money, you start controlling your life. When I was in my 20s, I thought investing was something for rich people, or something I could figure out later. I told myself, I'll start when I earn more. But what I didn't realize is that time is even more valuable than money when it comes to investing. Here's something that shocked me when I finally understood it. If you invest just a small amount in your 20s, even less than someone who starts later, you can still end up with more money. Why? Because of compound growth. Let's say you start investing at 22 and stop at 32. Now compare that to someone who starts at 32 and keeps investing until they're 60. Even though the second person invests for almost 3 times longer, you could still end up with more money, simply because you started earlier. It's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. That's what I wish someone had explained to me in my 20s. Even if you can only invest a small amount, do it. Start with index funds, mutual funds, or even a simple retirement plan. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to begin. I used to think I needed to save a big amount to get started, but the truth is, it's better to invest $500 a month now than ute $5,000 10 years later, because every year you wait is money you're leaving on the table. So, if you're in your 20s, don't make the mistake I did. Don't wait until your 30s to take investing seriously. The earlier you begin, the easier it becomes. Time is your most powerful asset, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Start now. Your future self will be grateful beyond words.